Hello kids, in today's class we are going to move ahead in this chapter and we are going to learn how to convert a decimal number into fraction first. Okay, so let us see that what are the steps here. I'm taking one example. I'm taking the first number given in this question 0.4, which is a decimal number, and we have to convert this into a fraction. Okay, so now we know that how we have to do this. First of all, we are going to write the number as is, that is 4, and we have to divide this with 1 followed by the number of zeros, which is equal to the number of places after decimal. So we know here that after decimal we have only one place, so we have to write here 1 0. Okay, 1 0 after 1, that is 10. 4 divided by 10, because this is at 10th place. Okay, and at 10th place we have 1 by 10 as the place value. So this 0.4 will become 4 by 10 here, right? Similarly, in the second part we have 0.25. So first of all, just understand this, that this 0.25 can also be written as 0.25, because if we do not have any whole number in the decimal number, we can write it 0. Okay, so we can write 0 in place of a whole number. Now we are given with this number 0.25. This is at 10th place, this is at 100th place. So that means after decimal we have two places given to us. We have the number till 100th place. So we can write this number as 25 divided by 1 followed by 2 decimal places, so 2 zeros, right? Because this is at the 1's place, this is at the 100th place here. Similarly, kids, we can pick other questions also. I'm picking the third one also here. We have 0.06. So kids, understand this question now. After decimal, we have two places. We have 0 at 10th place and we have 6 at the 100th place. Okay, so how we can write this as? I can write this as 0, 6 divided by 2 places, so 100. And also we know 06 is 6 only, right? The number 06 is equal to 6 only. So that's why I'm writing 6 in place of 06. So this will become 6 by 100. Okay. So the rule is very simple. What we have to see how many places are there after decimal. Those many zeros we have to put in the denominator. So we have to write down 1 first and followed by the number of zeros equal to the decimal places here. Okay, now this is the first form. Now what we have to see here, we have to check that whether we can further simplify this. That is, we know how we can simplify any fraction its simplest form. So we are going to see now that can we write this fraction in its lowest form or simplest form. For that, what we are going to see, we have learned all this in the chapter factors. So what we are going to see here that is there any number which is a common factor of both 4 and 10. Okay, and we know such number, that is 2. 2 is a common factor of both 4 and 10. So we will divide both the numerator and denominator with 2. 2 into 2 is 4, 2 into 5 is 10. So we can write this fraction as 2 by 5. So what we can say here is the simplest form of the simplest fraction of this decimal number 0.4 is 2.5. 2 by 5. Okay, so I hope that you have understood this. What we have done, first step, we have changed this into a normal fraction, and after that we are checking if we can reduce it to its lowest form. If we can, then we are doing that. Okay, next question we have done is 0.25. There we have represented this in the form of a fraction as 25 by 100 because of the two decimal places after decimal. We have 100 here. Now we are going to see if there is any factor which is with any number which is a common factor of both of these. So we know that 25 is a common factor. So 25 into 1 is 25, 25 into 4 give us 100. So this particular fraction 25 by 100, this will become 1 by 4 in its lowest form. Okay, so 0.25 decimal we have written as 1.4 as the 1 by 4 as the lowest fraction, right? Now let us move further and see if we can represent this number in the lowest one fraction. So we know that 2 is a common factor of both of these. So let us divide both the numerator and denominator with 2. We will get 2 into 3 here and 2 into 50 here, right? So, and we cannot reduce it further. There is no number which is a common factor of both of these. So this is the simplest form of this fraction. So 3 by 50 is the fraction required. Similarly, kids, you can pick up other questions for practice. Okay, so we have learned now how we have changed a decimal number to a fraction first and then to the lowest possible fraction, right? Now, let us go to the second question where we have to convert each of the following decimal as a mixed fraction now. Okay, and we know that how we can change any fraction into mixed fractions. So let's pick the first question here. We have 7.5 given to us. So let us represent this in the form of a fraction. This will become 75 divided by 1 followed by how many zeros? See, we have only one place after decimal, so only 1 0 here. Okay, so now let us reduce it to the lowest fraction first, and we know that 5 is a common factor for both of these. Okay, so 5 into 15 is 75, 5 into 2 is 10. So what we have got here is 15 by 2. Okay, and now 15 by 2, let us try to make it a mixed fraction. So just divide. 2 into 7 is 14. 15 minus 14 will give us 1 here. So in the form of the formula QR by D, that is quotient here, which is 7, remainder 1, and the divisor 2. This is a mixed fraction. Okay, so we have represented this decimal number into the mixed fraction here, right? Now let us do the second question also, and rest of the questions you can pick up for practice. Okay, so I'm taking 24.8, right? Now this 24.8 can be represented as 248 divided with 1 followed with 1 0, because we have one decimal place, and for these two we know the common factor is 2 only. So this is 2 into 124, 2 into 5 here. So we have got 124 by 5 as the fraction, the lowest fraction. Now what we have to do, change it to a mixed fraction. So divide. 5 into 2 is 10, and 5 into 5 into 4 is 20. So this is 4 as a remainder. Now represent in the formula QR by D. So we have quotient as 4 here. Quotient we have as 24 here. Quotient R is 4 and D is 5. So 24, 4 by 5 is our required mixed fraction. Okay. So kids, simple what we have done. First we have changed this given decimal number into a normal fraction. Then we have reduced to the simplest fraction. But we are asked to make it as a mixed fraction. So we have divided and we have written it in the form of a mixed fraction here using the formula of mixed fraction as QR by D, mixed fraction form. Okay, or you can write this as mixed fraction formula, this one, and write it like this, simple. Okay, next we have to convert the fraction into a decimal, that is we have to do opposite of what we have done. So question first is 17 by 10. So kids, we have done the similar question yesterday also in the previous class. So 17 by 10. That means the decimal is after one place. Why? Because we have 1710. That means it is present at we have only 10th place after decimal. Okay, so starting from right to left, we are going to start from right to left and we will count the number of places. That is, just before 7 we have to put the decimal. Okay, the decimal here 10 represent that the decimal is after that, after decimal that there is only one place, so that's how we are writing it. Okay, next question we have 239 divided by 100. So we have two zeros, that means our decimal number will have tenths place and hundredths place also. Okay, so starting from again from right to left, we are going to put the decimal after two places. That is, just before 3 we are going to put decimal and 2. See, always remember we have to start from right to left. Okay, next question we have 2103 divide by 100. Again the same thing, that means after decimal we have two places. We have only till hundredths place. So starting from here, we are going to put the decimal after the two places from the right. So this is the number. Okay. So similarly, kids, you can pick up this question for practice. Now, what we have next here is we have a general method of converting a fraction into a decimal. That means if we are given any fraction, let's say 29.4, 29 divided by 4 given to us, and we have to change it into fraction, how to do this? So kids, in this case, first of all, always try to make this as a fraction, as a decimal number first. So just write this 29 as 29 decimal 0 divided by 4. Okay, see, we have learnt in the previous class that if we have any whole number and we want to change it to a decimal number, how to do that? So what we are going to do, after the whole number just put a decimal and write down 0. You can write down 10, you can write down two zeros and so on. Why? It will not make any difference because there is no number after decimal here. So this zeros will not have any value. Okay, so now let us try to divide this 29.00 with 4. So what we have is 4 into 7 is 28. So see here, since we are considering both the numbers before the decimal here, so that means after this quotient, in the quotient, after this particular number, we will put the decimal. Why? Because now we have covered both the numbers after which decimal is there. So after this question, we are going to put decimal. So 4 into 7 is 28. This is done. Here we are going to put 1 and we are going to take this 0 down. We do not have to put decimals here. Decimal will only and always come in the quotient. Okay, so we have 10 here. So just do the normal division. 4 into 2 is 8. So 10 minus 8, we have 2 again, and again take down this 0. So this will be 20. 4 into 5 is 20, and in remainder we will have nothing. We will have 0. So what is the quotient here? When we are dividing this, that is 7.25. So the answer of 29.4 fraction as a decimal is 7.25. Okay, so understand again how we have done. First, I'm writing convert to decimal. Okay, the normal method. So if any number is given to us, first of all, if it is not a decimal number, since here we have to convert it to decimal, so first of all we will write down this whole number in the form of a decimal number and then do the normal division. And while dividing, always see that whenever you consider the number till where you have a till where the decimal has not started or after which the decimal just start, then for the same number in the quotient after that particular number write down the decimal, and that decimal will always going to come in the quotient. It is not going to come anywhere in the remainder, okay, or anywhere down. It will always be considered in the quotient. Okay, so now we have done this question. Wait. Okay, we can jump into the exercise 7b here. So let us pick this exercise fast. Exercise 7b. First question is, convert each of the following into a fraction in its simplest form. So now what we are going to do is we have to change this fraction into the simplest form, which we have learned. I'm picking the first question here. This is 0.9 given to us, and we can write this in the form of a fraction as 9 by 10. Why 10? Because after decimal we have only one place. Okay, and then let us try to reduce to the simplest form. There is no such number except one, which is a common factor of both of these two. So the answer will be same, 9 by 10 only. Okay. Similarly, I am picking 0.15. Fourth question here. We have 0.15, which can be represented as 15 divided by two places. So 100 here. This is the normal fraction. Now let us try to reduce to the simplest form. Both of these are the have 5 as a common factor. So this is 5 into 3, 15, and 5 into 20 is 100. So we have 3 by 20, and this fraction cannot be reduced further. Okay. So this is done. Now let me pick another question. Question number 6. 0.53. This 0.53 can be written as 53 by 100, and they do not have any common factor. 53 is a prime number. So this is the simplest form we are writing here. So similarly, kids, you can pick other question, the 0.6, 0.08, 0.48 and other questions for the same conversion. Okay. Next, what we have is question number 9 I'm taking, where we have to convert them into a mixed fraction now. Okay, so I'm picking question number 9 first. Okay, so we have 6.4 and we can write this as 64 by 10. Why? Because after decimal only one place, so 1 0. Now let us try to reduce to the simplest form. So both of these, they have 2 as a common factor. So let's divide this both numerator and denominator with 2. So we have 2 into 2, 2 into 3, 6, 2 into 2, 4 and 2 into 5, 10. So we are getting this fraction as 32 by 5. Now what we are asked to do is to change this to a mixed fraction. So let us divide 32 with 2. 5 into 6 is 30. Okay, 5 into 6 is 30 and 2 is remainder. So right in the mixed form we have Q, that is 6, R, that is 2, remainder, and D, divisor. 6, 2 by 5 is the mixed form of this fraction. Okay, so I have done 9th question. Let me pick another question now. Let me do question number 14. Question number 14, we have 7.004. So this is 7004 divided by 1000. Okay, so if you see both of these, then what is the number which is a common factor of both of these two? Let's see. We can see that 2 is a common factor. So let's try to divide this with 2. We have 2 into 3, 6, then 35, 10, 0 as is, and 2 again. And when here 2 into 5 is 10, 2 into 5 is 10, and then 500 again. Okay, so again we can see that 2 is again a common factor of these two, numerator and denominator. So let's try to divide this again. So we have 2 into 1, 2 into 7, 2 into 1 is 2, 2 into 7 is 14. Okay, 2 into 5 is 10 and 1. And here we have 250. Okay. So now let's divide this. Okay. So we have 1751, wait, divided with 250. So when we try to divide this with 250, so 250 into 7 is 1750. Okay, so when you multiply this, you will get it, and the remainder is 1 here. So what is the mixed fraction? The mixed fraction will become Q, that is quotient, remainder divided by the divisor. This is the mixed fraction which we are going to get here. Okay, so we have done question number 14 and I am just rubbing this off very fast. Let us do the next part, to convert each of the following into decimal. So now what is given to us is, we are given the fractions and we have to convert them in the form of a decimals. Okay, let's do this question. Okay, question number 17 is 23 by 10. So this is easy. We know that in the denominator we have 1 0 only. So we have to put the decimal after one place from the right. So this will be 2.3. Okay, so similarly these questions are very easy, kids. This will become, we have two zeros, to two places from the right is 1.67. Again we have two zeros, again two places from the right, so 15.89. And here we have three zeros, so three places from the right, so this will become 5.413. So similarly you can pick these questions for more practice. Okay, let me pick question number 22 now, where we have this question 25 by 4 and we have to change it in the form of a decimal. So this 25 is a whole number. Let us first write it in the form of a decimal and divided this with 4 now. So 25.00 with 4. 4 into 6 is 24, right? So since we have taken both the digits, so after this quotient only this decimal will come. Okay, 5 minus 4 is 1. Now take down this 0. This is 4 into 2 is 8. 10 minus 8 is 2 again. Again this 0. This is 4 into 5. So 6.25 is the decimal conversion of this fraction 25 by 4. Okay, now let me do question number 24, where a mixed fraction is given to us. So this is 1 4, divide this with 25. So let us first try to change it to normal fraction. And what is the formula? Multiply this divisor with the remainder. 25 into 1 is 25. Add it to the quotient. So 25 into 1 is 25. I'm writing here, and then add to 4 and the denominator as is. So this will become 25 into 1, 25 plus 4 is 29, divide by 25. This is the fraction which we have to solve. Okay, and let's try to write down. Here we have 29.00 divided this with 25. So what we have is 25 into 1 is 25. 9 minus, so 9 minus 5 is 4 here. And here we have taken both the digits, so decimal will come now. Okay, so again I'm taking 0 here. So this will be 25 into 1 is 25 again. This will become 15. Okay, and now this 0 is going to come here. So we have to now divide this 150 with 25. So when we divide this, this will become 6. Okay, 25 into 6 will give us 150. So we have got the decimal as 1.16. So the value, or you can say the conversion of this mixed fraction is to a decimal is 1.16. Okay, so similarly kids, you can pick up more questions here. The simple thing to do here is, first of all, change the mixed fraction into the normal fraction and then do the simple division. And whenever we are dividing it, just make the numerator as a decimal number by adding a decimal point and 0 after that. Okay, so this question is done now, and let me take one more question for you. Let me take 30th question. Okay, we have question number 30 as 107. Divide this with 250. So if you see this question, 107 dividing by 250, you will find out that we do not have any factor which is common to this. So straight away, what we can do is we can just make this whole number as a decimal number, write it like this, and try to divide this with 250 here. Okay, so what we have here is 107 decimal 00 and divide this with 250. Okay, so kids, see here, we know that 107 is less than 250. Okay, so that means we cannot do the, we cannot divide this with 250 straight away. So what we have to consider is, we have to consider this complete number. That means we have to take this, consider this 0 also. So if we are taking the 0 also for the very first time, that means we have to put this decimal first. Okay, so we have this decimal first, and now we have the number 1070 which we have to divide. Okay, so we know that 250 into 4 will give us 1000. So we are writing 1000 here and do the subtraction now. So we have 7 here, we have 0 here, and again we are going to take down this 0. So 250 and 700. Okay, so now let us try to divide this 250 with 700. And we know that 250 into 2 will give us 500. So what we have is, let's subtract this, and we have 0 0, 7 minus 5 is 2. Okay, so we are left with 200, which is less than 250, which cannot be divided. Okay, so what we are going to take now, what we are going to do now is, since it's a decimal, we can add one more 0 here. Okay, so we are adding one more 0 here, and we are taking that 0 down. So 250 when multiplied with 8 gives us 2000. Okay, so in the remainder we will have 0. So understand, kids, what we have done. Initially we have taken 2 zeros, but since we know that after decimal, if there is no number given to us, we can take as many as zeros required. So when we are dividing it, we realize that okay, we need one more 0 and we are adding one more 0 to it. Okay, so the answer is 0.428 in the decimal form. Okay, so this is how we have to do this, kids. Next, what we have is, we have to express these numbers in the form of kgs and the different units given to us. So let me pick question number 33, first part, where we have to use decimals to express 8 kg and 640 grams in kilograms. We have to write this entire number in kgs here. So we know that 1 kg is equal to 1000 grams. Okay, and what is given to us is, we are given as 640 grams. We have 8 kg straight away, which doesn't need any conversion, but we have to convert this 640 grams to kg. Okay, so how to do this? So kids, today I'm telling you one method of cross multiplication which we can use anywhere in mathematics, and going forward also when you will have algebra, that is going to be very useful. See, when we know a unit, we know that 1 kg is equal to 1000 grams, and we have to convert the 640 grams into kg. We don't know what is going to come here. Okay, so what I will do now is, I am going to cross multiply these two. That means this question mark divided with 1000 is equal to 640 multiply with 1. Okay, multiply these two, multiply is equal to multiplication of these two. Okay, and now this question mark is as is, 640 into 1 is 640 only, right? And this is in multiplication here. When I'm going to move it across is equal to sign, this will come as division. Okay, so this question mark, that is the amount required, is 640 divided by 1000, and this time this will be in kgs because the one which we wanted was in kgs. Okay, so I can write now this as 8 kgs as is, and 640 grams, the 640 grams as 640 divided by 1000 kgs. Okay, and further how we can do is this is nothing but 8 plus 640 divided by 1000 kg, correct? And now we can change this into decimal. We have three zeros here and decimal will come after three places. So this will be 8 plus 0.640 kgs. Add these two, this will be 8.640 kilograms. Okay, so this is what we wanted. We wanted to change this into kgs. So 8 is already is given in kgs and we have to convert this 640 grams. For this we have used the method of cross multiplication and find out that the value of 640 gram is equal to 640 by 1000 kgs. Okay, and then we have expressed it in the form of fraction first and then into the decimal form. Okay, so this is how we have to solve these questions, kids. Next what we have is, I'm going to pick the another one now, right? All these questions here, we have everything given in kgs and grams, so we have to use the same method. Next what we have is kilometers and meters. Okay, so let me just erase it fast and let me pick one question from this question number 34. See, you should know the units, the conversion units first, that 1 kg is equal to 1000 grams, right? Similarly, here in this question, question number 34, first part I'm picking, we have 4 kilometer, 365 meters. We have to change it into kilometers. This is already in kilometers. We just have to convert this. We know that 1 kilometer contains 1000 meters, right? So what we have to do, we have to change this into kilometers, 365 into meters. How many kilometers would be here? So just cross multiply. We have this question mark multiplied with 1000 is equal to 365 multiply into 1. Okay, so this question mark is equal to 365 divided by 1000. This was in kilometers now. And now let us put it back into this part. So this will become 4 kilometers, 365 divided by 1000 kilometers. That means 4 kilometers, 4 kilometers plus 365 divided by 1000 in kilometers, and this we are going to express it in fractions as 4 plus 0.365 kilometers, which is equal to 4.365. Okay, so this is the required decimal conversion. Okay, so this is done. Similarly, kids, you can pick the other forms, and in the next questions again we are given 15 kg, 850 kg in kilograms. Okay, question number 35, first part I'm picking here. Question 35, first part, we have 15 kgs, 850 grams in kgs we have to express. So this is similar to what we have done in question number 33. Same thing we are required to do here. So let us do it fast. This is 15 kg and we know we can express this grams into 850 divided by 1000 in kgs, right? So this will become 15 plus 0.850, which is equal to 1515.850 kgs. Okay, this is how we have to do this. And in the last question of this exercise, question number 36, what we have is using decimals. We have to use the decimals for this conversion of rupees and paisa. So we know that in 1 rupee we have 100 paisa. So we have to use the same conversion here. Question number 36, first part, we have rupees 18 and 25 paisa. We have to convert this in rupees. Okay, we know that 1 rupee is equal to 100 paisa, and we have to find out how many paisas, how many rupees are there in 25 paisa. Okay, so again, cross multiply. 1 multiplied by 25 is equal to question mark multiplied by 100. That means question mark is equal to 25 divided by 100. Let us put this value in the given question. So we will have rupees 18 plus 25 divided by 100 in rupees. This whole is in rupees. So this will give us 18 plus 0.25, that is equal to rupees 18.25. Okay, so this is the required conversion. Okay kids, so with this we complete this exercise, and in the next exercise we have operation on decimals. That means addition and subtractions and the other operators also. So please practice these questions at home, and I will see you all in the next class now. Thank you.